There is a dangerous illusion destroying millions of lives right now. It does not look dangerous. It does not feel dangerous. In fact, it feels good. It feels safe, comfortable, easy. And that is exactly why it is so deadly. Most people believe poverty begins with lack of money. But the Stoics understood something deeper. Poverty often begins long before the wallet becomes empty. It begins in the mind. It begins the moment a person becomes addicted to comfort. Because comfort can slowly destroy ambition. Without you noticing, it convinces you to delay effort, to avoid pain, to escape responsibility, to settle for average, and eventually, years disappear, dreams disappear, potential disappears. Seneca once warned, "Difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body." But modern society teaches the opposite. Avoid difficulty, avoid discomfort, avoid struggle. And because of this, many people are becoming mentally weak while expecting financially strong lives. Today, we are going to uncover the harsh Stoic truth about comfort and poverty, and why your addiction to ease may be the very thing keeping you broke. Part 1. Comfort feels good, but destroys discipline. Comfort is seductive. That is what makes it dangerous. Nobody notices when comfort slowly takes control of their life. It starts small. 1 extra hour of sleep, skipping 1 workout, delaying 1 opportunity, avoiding 1 difficult conversation, and then repetition turns weakness into lifestyle. The Stoics believed discipline creates freedom, but comfort destroys discipline, because discipline requires friction, and most people spend their entire lives trying to avoid friction. They avoid difficult work, difficult growth, difficult learning, difficult sacrifice. Yet they still expect extraordinary results. That contradiction creates frustration. People want success without pressure, wealth without sacrifice, respect without effort. But reality does not work that way. Every meaningful life is built through discomfort. Part 2. Poverty is often a pattern of avoidance. Many people think poverty only means lack of money. But Stoicism teaches that poverty can also be a mindset that constantly avoids responsibility, avoids growth, avoids discomfort. Epictetus taught that suffering often comes not from events, but from how we respond to them. Some people respond to hardship with growth, others respond with escape, and escape becomes addiction. People escape into endless scrolling, entertainment, gossip, excuses, comfort routines, instead of facing reality. And over time, their life becomes smaller. Not because they lacked intelligence, but because they lacked endurance. The harsh truth is this: many people are not poor because opportunity never existed. They are poor because discomfort scared them away from growth. Part 3. The world rewards people who can handle pain. The modern world hides this truth. But every high achiever has one thing in common. They learned how to tolerate discomfort longer than average people. Business requires discomfort. Learning requires discomfort. Discipline requires discomfort. Growth requires discomfort. The Stoics trained themselves to face hardship willingly, not because they loved pain, but because they understood pain builds resilience. Meanwhile, comfort creates fragility. A fragile mind quits quickly. A resilient mind adapts. This is why some people collapse under pressure, while others rise through it. Pressure reveals character. And if you spend your entire life avoiding difficulty, life eventually becomes unbearable. Part 4. Comfort makes people weak without them knowing. One of the most dangerous things about comfort is that it rarely feels harmful in the moment. It feels harmless to relax just for today, to postpone effort just this once, to avoid discipline temporarily. But temporary comfort easily becomes permanent weakness. The Stoics practiced voluntary discomfort, cold weather, simple living, self-control. Why? Because they wanted mastery over themselves. Modern people often want mastery over money, without mastering themselves first. But self-control is the foundation of wealth. Without it, spending increases, laziness increases, distractions increase, excuses increase, and slowly poverty becomes emotional before it becomes financial. Part 5. Social media sells comfort as happiness. Modern culture constantly tells people, Do what feels good. Take it easy. Never stress yourself. But Stoicism asks a deeper question. What kind of life are your habits creating? Because temporary pleasure often creates long-term suffering. Social media glorifies luxury without labor, success without sacrifice, entertainment without purpose. And this creates dangerous expectations. People begin hating effort. They want instant rewards, instant wealth, instant status, instant success. But nature does not reward impatience. Trees grow slowly, strength develops slowly, wisdom develops slowly, wealth also grows slowly, and people addicted to comfort rarely stay patient long enough to build anything meaningful. Part 6. Comfort kills hunger. There is a reason many successful people came from difficult environments. Hardship created hunger, and hunger created action. Comfort often removes urgency. When people become too comfortable, they stop evolving. Marcus Aurelius believed humans were designed for action, not endless pleasure, not endless entertainment, action, purpose, contribution. A hungry person studies harder, works harder, learns faster, sacrifices more. But comfort whispers, "You can do it tomorrow," and tomorrow slowly destroys years of potential. Many dreams die quietly inside comfortable routines. Part 7. The pain you avoid today returns stronger tomorrow. Stoicism teaches an uncomfortable truth. Avoided pain does not disappear, it grows. Avoid exercise today. Your body weakens tomorrow. Avoid discipline today. Your future suffers tomorrow. Avoid responsibility today. Life becomes harder tomorrow. Many people choose temporary comfort without realizing they are choosing future suffering, because every avoided responsibility accumulates interest, and eventually reality demands payment. This is why regret becomes so painful later in life. Not because people failed, but because they know they avoided becoming who they could have been. Part 8. Stoicism teaches voluntary discomfort. The Stoics intentionally trained hardship into their lives. Why? Because they understood comfort weakens the spirit. Seneca sometimes practiced living with very little even when he was wealthy. He wanted proof that he could survive discomfort. That mindset created fearlessness. Modern people panic too quickly because they never train resilience. Every inconvenience feels catastrophic. Every setback feels unbearable. But resilience is built through repeated exposure to discomfort. This is why difficult experiences often create stronger people, not automatically, but when faced with courage. Part 9. Most people are distracted into poverty. The modern world profits from your distraction, because distracted people consume more and build less. Entertainment everywhere, noise everywhere, comfort everywhere, but very little discipline. The Stoics valued focus deeply, because focus creates progress. A distracted person cannot build wealth consistently. Their attention is too scattered. They start many things, but finish nothing. And over years, lack of focus quietly creates average lives. Not because people lacked dreams, but because distractions consumed their energy before discipline could mature. Part 10. The hardest truth about comfort. Here is the harsh truth most people avoid. Comfort can become a prison. Not because comfort itself is evil, but because excessive comfort destroys growth. The moment you stop challenging yourself, you slowly begin declining. Mentally, emotionally, financially, spiritually. Many people stay broke because they became too attached to easy living, too attached to convenience, too attached to avoiding struggle. But growth demands discomfort. Every transformation requires sacrifice. Every meaningful achievement requires endurance. There is no escape from this law. Part 11. Comfort makes people dependent. One of the greatest dangers of comfort is dependence. The more addicted a person becomes to easy living, the weaker they become when life becomes difficult. And life always becomes difficult eventually. Stoicism teaches that uncertainty is part of existence. Loss comes, pressure comes, failure comes, hard seasons come. But people raised entirely in comfort often collapse under pressure. Why? Because they never trained their minds to endure hardship. They became emotionally dependent on convenience, dependent on easy emotions, easy money, easy routines. And when reality interrupts that comfort, panic begins. Epictetus believed true freedom comes from inner strength, not external comfort, because external comfort can disappear overnight, but disciplined character stays. That is why resilience is more valuable than luxury. Part 12. Poverty grows when people stop learning. Comfort convinces people they already know enough. It kills curiosity. It kills growth, and eventually, it kills opportunity. The world changes constantly. Skills evolve. Technology evolves. Business evolves. But comfortable people resist learning because learning feels difficult. They avoid reading, studying, practicing, improving, because growth requires mental discomfort. And mentally lazy people slowly become financially vulnerable. The Stoics respected wisdom deeply, not surface knowledge, not empty opinions. Wisdom, because wisdom improves decisions, and better decisions create better lives. A person who stops learning slowly becomes trapped in outdated thinking, and outdated thinking often creates long-term poverty. Part 13. Easy pleasure creates hard lives. Modern society is obsessed with pleasure. Everything is designed to stimulate people instantly. Fast entertainment, fast dopamine, fast comfort. But the Stoics warned against becoming slaves to pleasure, because uncontrolled pleasure weakens self-mastery. Many people destroy their future chasing temporary feelings. They prioritize pleasure over purpose, entertainment over education, comfort over consistency, and then wonder why life feels empty later. The harsh truth is this: easy pleasure often creates difficult futures, while difficult discipline often creates peaceful futures. This is why many successful people sacrifice temporary enjoyment for long-term freedom, not because they hate life, but because they understand consequences. Part 14. Comfort destroys confidence. Real confidence does not come from motivational words. It comes from proof. Proof that you can survive difficulty. Proof that you can handle pressure. Proof that you can endure struggle. Seneca believed courage is developed through action, not comfort. But comfort prevents people from testing themselves. And when people never challenge themselves, they secretly become insecure, because deep down they know they have avoided growth. This creates fragile confidence, confidence that disappears the moment life becomes hard. But disciplined people become calm under pressure, because hardship trained them. Every obstacle survived becomes evidence of strength, and strength creates real confidence. Part 15. The world respects value, not excuses. Many people want sympathy for avoiding responsibility, but reality rewards value, not excuses, not intentions, not potential. Value. The Stoics believed action matters more than complaints, because complaints change nothing. Comfortable people often become addicted to blaming the economy, society, luck, other people, while disciplined people focus on adaptation. That difference changes everything. One mindset creates victims, the other creates builders, and builders eventually create opportunities even in difficult environments. The harsh truth is this: the world may listen to your excuses, but it rewards your usefulness. Part 16. Stoic discipline creates inner wealth. The final lesson of Stoicism is powerful. True wealth begins internally. Before money grows externally, discipline must grow internally. Marcus Aurelius understood that mastering yourself is the highest form of power, because a person who controls emotions, impulses, distractions, laziness, becomes extremely dangerous to mediocrity. Comfort tells people, stay the same. Stoicism says, evolve. Comfort says, avoid pain. Stoicism says, grow through pain. Comfort says, relax forever. Stoicism says, prepare for life. And this is the ultimate truth. Poverty is not always caused by lack of opportunity. Sometimes it is caused by lack of discipline, hidden beneath a life of endless comfort. So challenge yourself. Wake up earlier. Learn harder. Work deeper. Become stronger. Because every moment of disciplined discomfort is building a version of you that comfort could never create. Final message. At the end of life, you will either suffer the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. The Stoics chose discipline because discipline creates freedom. Freedom from weakness, freedom from dependency, freedom from poverty thinking. Marcus Aurelius once reminded himself, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." And that is where transformation begins. Not in comfort, not in excuses, but in the decision to become stronger than your impulses. So ask yourself honestly, has comfort made your life peaceful or powerless? Because the harsh truth is this: a comfortable life today can create a miserable future tomorrow, but temporary discomfort can build a powerful future that lasts forever.